People, let's get focused. Let's get focused up in this piece because ESPN has just laid off a bunch of people. Bunch of people. Okay, so what does it mean? Let us speculate. Throw out some conjecture, a little bit of hypothesis with limited data. Let's see what we can come up with. Uh, I'm a, you know what? I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at it like this. I'm not on the inside of the system. I don't follow the system by pretty much any laudable measure. You know what I mean? Like I'm not into sports uh, whatsoever. Uh, so I am not the resident expert on the whys and wherefore of the economic system. However, I'm a skeptic, and when I see something this big happen, I try to look at the limited information that I do know. And one thing that I do know is that the Super Bowl ratings have dropped. And when you have one of the biggest games of the year, pretty much around the world, and their ratings drops, their ticket sales drops, that has a ripple effect on the rest of the system. And so what I can speculate is happening is there is there is a flux that there is a financial flux that is affecting all of sports, all of sports, and ESPN has I think they're feeling it. As a matter of fact, we know that they're feeling it because they released 100 people. Now, here's the thing: they also released a bunch of high-profile people. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I don't know any names, but high-profile anchors. People who played the sports before. You know what I'm saying? They released them, and when you get and those are high-profile jobs too. So now here's the thing about that: when you release those people, and let's just say, I don't know if any of them's there, Charles Barkley or Shaquille O'Neal, or any of those people. I don't know if any of those people work for ESPN. I don't know, but let's just throw out those names. But when you release those names like that, and you just say, those people are no longer going to be on the show, you know, you're looking at people who are staples in the system. They've been in the system in one way or another for the last 25 years. And they have fans that follow them. They either follow them on Facebook, Twitter, uh, you know, uh, heck, some people, know them personally and follow them. And they have a huge fan base. And wherever you have a fan base, you have, there's money involved in that. There's ad revenue involved in that. There's commercials involved in that, because they're bringing eyeballs to whatever show that they're on just because they're there. You know what I'm saying? So when you remove that, you're also removing those fans from it, because people are going to look at the show and they're going to go, I don't recognize this person. And even if you do recognize a person, say like Deshaun Jackson got on there or something like that, then you'll have Deshaun Jackson's fans. But the thing about it is, and I'm not saying he's on there. But the thing about it is, he has to build up that fan base for that show now because you're so used to watching him play. So there's a financial flux in that, and that could take years. That's not immediate. That's not guaranteed. That could take a while. So so they're losing money on one end, and they're trying to, when you're getting rid of those big names, you're trying to save money. You're trying to get some of that money back, but you're still going to lose money. It's not like a regular job. It's not like these people are just people that you don't know if they're not in the spotlight. It's not like it's the secretary or something like that. it's somebody who brings a certain personality that people like, and when that personality isn't there anymore, you know what I mean? Case in point, Stephen A. Smith arguing with Skip Bayless all the time, them two going at it. There's a push and pull between the two in a lot of different ways because they don't agree. And Skip Bayless is no longer going head to head with Stephen A. Smith. You better believe Skip Bayless took some fans with him wherever he went, and they no longer watch that show that Stephen A. Smith is on. As a matter of fact, Stephen A. Smith has a podcast. But they didn't watch it just because of Stephen A. Smith. They watch it because of Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. It's a combined effort. It's a yin and yang between the two. And I mean, white and black. Uh, there's always people who like to see, the camaraderie between the two, even though it's friendly camaraderie. Because the Skip Bayless has an opinion uh, that and he will mention the fact that he's not a black man when something racially happens within the system. When Colin Kaepernick, when he took a knee, you know, Skip has to watch his words in situations like that. Uh, when you got Shannon Sharp, and when he speaks about racially charged situations, and he speaks very vividly about them, and he's a big guy. He's not there to he played the game before. He's a big man, and he'll tell you exactly what he feels. People gravitate towards that. They want to hear that. You're like, yeah, Shannon, you right. And other people are like, nah, I don't want to hear what Shannon got to say. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, they'll listen because they don't like him. You get people who listen to Shannon because I don't like this dude, but nonetheless, they'll listen to what he has to say. You know what I'm saying? They're still going to watch, and you got to understand this: the Nelson ratings. The Nelson ratings is not whenever you turn on something and you watch it for 3 seconds. The Nelson rating is usually about 5 minutes of the show. When somebody watches it for 3 to 5 minutes of the show, boom, that counts as that one person or that one household watching that show. And the Nelson ratings is how a lot of these people get paid. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Nelson ratings is how a lot of these people get paid. Um, it's kind of like SoundScan when it comes to music. So you people who are into music, you know what I'm talking about. SoundScan, basically, what Sounds what SoundScan does is it's a system that looks for any music who is registered within a system with an ASCAP, CSAC, and BMI. And so I'm an artist, so my music is registered with BMI. No, ASCAP. I'm sorry. So basically, ASCAP searches SoundScan, that searches everyone who is playing my music, and then ASCAP gets a check. They send me a check. Okay, so that's how that works. Royalties, and it's deeper than that. But so there you have it. So it's like that in music, and something similar when it comes to ads, and along that along that vein. So you have to understand, when ESPN lets people go, they're still going to leak money. They're going to leak money until they build another. I ain't gonna say an empire, but it's they have to have other personalities to come on there and let's just say Tony Romo. Tony Romo is a good case. The reason why Tony Romo is a good case is because Tony Romo, he played for 10 years, and I don't know if he works for ESPN or not, but let's say Tony Romo for 10 years. Uh, I think I don't know if he went to a couple playoffs, never went to the Super Bowl. I don't know. But the thing about Tony Romo is one of the most likable guys in sports, period. He is very, very digestible. Uh, he doesn't kick against the goads. He doesn't ruffle anybody's feathers. He's easy on the eyes. He dates, when he first started off, he dated people who were very popular, and he's a spotlight type of person that isn't really gonna offend anybody. And he was never, he wasn't like Donovan McNabb. Now, Donovan McNabb, I think he has a Super Bowl championship. Donovan, he's been and won a couple playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty much a better quarterback, way better than Tony Romo. But Donovan McNabb cannot compare to Tony Romo's popularity. Not even close. Not even close. So Tony Romo is a good, clear case of someone who is just when it comes to the television, they have sex appeal. You know, Families want to watch Tony Romo. Uh, uh, his self representation hasn't been scarred or marred in any kind of way that will make people go, yeah, yes, yeah, I don't want to watch him. But then you have Ray. Then you have um, then you have Ray, the guy who was in not Ray Rice. I want him too. Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is one of those people. I don't know if he's on ESPN or not, but he is another prime example of somebody who brings a fan base, but you don't know if you like him or not. Why? Because of his sordid past. So you go, I don't want to watch. I don't want to listen to Ray Lewis. I don't believe what he says. He got mixed up and all that. Those murders, we don't know if he did it or not. Some people think he did and got away with it. Some people think he didn't. We don't really know. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really want to watch him. Or we hate this guy. we we would love to see this guy go down. So they might watch just simply because of that. So there's just some examples, but nonetheless, ESPN, play for me, buddy? Yeah. God, it's just between time and space. Nonetheless, ESPN laid off a bunch of people. There's going to be a ripple effect. You better believe that the high profile people who lost their jobs are going to be scrambling to find other jobs. Now here's another thing they did. They said, you know what? Even though you people lost your jobs, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to, like anybody who's a reporter or an accountant, they have those people on a list. You can read right down the list who lost their job, which I think is wrong. 100 people, you can read right down the list. But the people who were in high profile, used to play sports and all that, they're like, nah, we're not going to put those people out there. So those people are going to be scrambling, to go to Fox or, wherever they can, still keep that money. But what they did was they said, what we're going to do is we're not going to tell anybody. We're going to let you tell your family that you just lost your job. You know what I'm saying? And I got 2 words for you people. Podcast. Be independent. That way it won't happen to you again. You know what I'm saying? Take all those people you got on Twitter. Okay, let's look at it like this. You know that goofy chick, what's that girl's name? The blonde head who just lost her job. The outspoken chick spoke out against Colin Kaepernick. Oh man, I forgot this chick's name. But she was on a news feed that was pretty much online, and what happened to her is they fired her because of her opinion about women. They fired her. Blonde head chick. One of you guys know her name. I don't like her. Nonetheless, she's going at it with a lot of people over racially charged issues, and she's not very smart. But she's young, 23. What I think was she was trying to get on Fox because she was her news feed and Fox's news feed. They both are on the same right wing. They have the same attitude. So on and so forth. So basically, They fired her because of something she said about women. You know, so what they also did was took all of her followers on Facebook. It was like, nope, they closed down her Facebook page. I mean, just think about that. Just think about the power that they had to just go, nope, your Facebook page, boom, gone. I mean, just think about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling any, and all you people out there, anyone, who dares to watch this, get yourself a podcast. All those people, and do it before you get fired. Get yourself some revenue. Listen, I don't care if it's $10 a day that you're making off a podcast. That's $10 that you're not making if you don't do it. I'm telling anyone who is in the industry, the industry is fixed. It is fickle. It has no love for you. The people who run the industry, they don't care about you. Oh, we just had a baby, we just bought a house, and now you're firing us. We don't care. Because our bottom line is all we care about. Oh, my mom has cancer and I'm paying her bills. What am I going to do now? Your mom's going to die. And we don't care. I'm just saying. It's real. Oh, little Timmy just broke his, femur. And, he's only, 11 years old. And how am I going to pay his doctor bills? Well, you better go and get Cobra. Oh, you can't afford Cobra. Well, Medicare, Medicaid, something. File for unemployment. Hey, file for unemployment. That'll hit him in the head. Oh my God. You better take out your PERS. You guys got some PERS? You know that big house you live in? You better get yourself a tiny house. Word up. Hey, you better downsize. You know that big gas guzzling truck you drive? Get rid of it. Get rid of your truck. That big V8 Mercedes Benz you got? Get rid of it. That Range Rover? Get rid of it. Go get yourself a Chevy. Trade that Range Rover in. Get yourself a Chevy, and keep on rolling. Don't even sweat it. Like, oh, really? Oh, I can't pay this $900 a month for this fancy car I got no more. No problem. Turn that joker in. Go get yourself a used Chevy. Boom. Keep rolling. Get yourself a podcast. Hey, and get together with the other people who got fired, and then make your own show. Go right online and be like, boom. Instead of ESPN, just call yourself Sports and Things or something like that. Get yourself, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself a lawyer and accountant. The ones who got fired. Everybody who got fired, there's 100 of you who got fired. Make your own company. Do it all online. It's your boy Tone 202. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just make your own come up. You have followers already. You know what I'm saying? You have everything you need. The people that they fired have their own infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they fired one or two people. They fired 100 people plus popular people. You guys already have everything you need. You don't need ESPN. Make your own show. You already got fans. You already got a revenue a revenue stream coming in. As long as you got fans, and as long as you got fans, you have ads. All you have to do is go to Gatorade and say, "Listen, play some of your ads on our podcast." and play some of your ads on your podcast, and then go to Nike, do the same thing. Go to Armor All. Do this Armor All too. Go to who's that? Steph Curry and his corny shoes. Go to whoever those people are. You know what I'm saying? And then go to some of these people who are still playing sports. You know what I'm saying? Go to Mello. Talk to Mello and say, listen. Uh, every now and then we just want you to give us a call, tell us what you think about leaving the Knicks and going to Miami Heat. You think people won't listen to that? You guys got everything you need. It's your boy Tone 202. If you guys don't know how to come up from that, then you guys ain't got no hustle. I'm just saying. You guys don't need ESPN. It's your boy Tone 202, man. Stay focused.